Hello and welcome to another episode of Golden Nuggets with Silvia Eldawi. Today I'm joined by the real estate veteran, Dounia Fadi, who is the Managing Director of eXp Realty in Dubai. Welcome to Golden Nuggets, Dounia.
Thank you, Silvia. You just made me sound like I'm 60-year-old, veteran.
Well, I mean, 19 years in the real estate industry in Dubai.
Yes.
And Dubai is only, 52 years old?
Sure.
So you're kind of like the grandmother of...
Thank you.
Okay, or the auntie, the cool auntie.
The cool auntie.
Now, Dounia has been in the real estate industry for 19 years, all in Dubai. She's a wife and a mother of 3 beautiful children, a frequent international speaker, and she's a board advisory member of Cityscape Wire. I believe my membership's probably been relinquished after the episode with
No,
Alessia.
I put in a word for you, Silvia. Don't worry.
Please let me come to the iftar next week. We will talk about, because you are an advocate for women in real estate, and especially women in leadership in real estate. We're going to park that towards the end of the conversation.
Looking forward to it.
Because it might end up in a fist fight or something. No, I'm joking.
No.
But we'll have a discussion around it, because I think there was a lot of, it sparked a big debate and discussion, which I think we should continue. And the more voices around it, the better.
Sure.
But I've been asking you to come on the on the show for a while, because every time we talk, I discover something new about eXp, and I'm like, come on the show, tell people, because it is different. It is a different model. It's not something that's been done here before, and I want people to know about it and understand it. And I have more questions too. So Can you explain the eXp model, please?
All right. So eXp Realty, if we go back, it was founded by Glenn Sanford in 2009. So it's not a new company. It started with 25 agents in the United States, out of Washington state. And today we are 89,000 plus professionals that work with eXp. It has expanded globally to 24 countries. It is a publicly listed company with NASDAQ, which means, we are, and by the way, 60 to 70% of our shares are owned by the founder, agents, and staff of eXp. It is also it's a cloud-based brokerage, which is a very different model or different way. It's nothing like the traditional brokerage. We do sell, rent, buy real estate for our clients the same way, whatever it's being applied in each country, but the way we operate is different.
So the services exactly the same
services
as
are exactly. We're not selling
brokerage.
houses in the metaverse. We're working out of the metaverse. We're
This
training,
you need to explain. And you've actually showed me a couple of demos of what it looks like going into the metaverse. We went, I think it was like 11 p.m. or something.
I know,
there was
we had
nobody
dinner
there.
And there was,
there was nobody in the metaverse or the rooms. But just so really what the eXp difference is not so much about the services that you provide, it's more the service to the brokers.
Yes.
And the setup and infrastructure.
So one thing you would hear repetitively about eXp Realty is it's a very agent-centric brokerage.
Right.
It's all about the agents. Our founder has said publicly that 50% of the revenue of the company should go back to the agents. Last year alone, there was a $230 million revenue that was paid to eXp Realty agents. So it is very agent-centric. So we have 2 lines of work. We have clients, buyers and sellers, and we have agents who are also our customers.
Right.
We make sure that we give them the best service, because a brokerage is all about agents. You cannot run a brokerage without agents, right? So for us, agents are very important. What they earn, the way they work, providing the right environment, providing the right trainings, providing the right support. And the one thing I really liked about eXp Realty, and because of my previous experience as well, is that it's not a franchise. So we're not a franchise. We are literally a branch of the United States holding company. And so are the 24 countries or the other 23 markets that we
was my
cover.
perception, that it was kind of similar to Remax and
No, it's not. This
Keller
is the
Williams.
thing. So Glenn Sanford came. So eXp Realty is the Uber of real estate, basically.
So you're Uberizing the agents.
Exactly. So it came, it cut out the franchise. There are no royalty fees, no desk fees, no nothing. So basically it used to be the head, the corporate then the owner, then the agents, then. No, this is just eXp Realty and the agents. And everyone in eXp Realty, including its founder, benefit from the same income or revenue share or whatever the benefits for the agents are. So we're all equal under the umbrella of eXp.
You mentioned that he wanted 50% of the revenue to be with the agents, but that's the model that we have here and in many places anyway, where it's a 50-50 split.
So when I say 50%, it's not about the commission. It's after paying the commission to the agents, is what's remaining as a profit or as a revenue to the agency that we give back from that in many other ways. So I'll list them for you. One is we have high compensation models. We pay 75%. The cap is at 500,000 GCI, which is gross commission income.
Right. So let's slow down. Entry point, 75% commission.
75%
okay, so it's not even, so already you're far beyond what a lot of the brokerages will pay commission split. So entry point, 75% commission. What is capping? So
capping is something that is in the US widely used in the market, Canada and the US, North America in general. So it's when there is a certain number or a target that is set. Beyond that number, you start earning almost 100% of the commission. So our cap in Dubai is 500,000 dirhams gross commission income, GCI. So once you hit the 500,000 as an income or gross income in your commission, you start earning 95%.
So is that 500,000 in the month or in the year?
In the anniversary year. So good point, because when you start, if you hit 500,000 in, like you start January, you hit 500,000 in March. From March till December, you're earning 95%.
95% of everything you do.
Of everything you do
until the anniversary.
Yeah, when your anniversary year resets, then you go back to 75%, and then again, once you reach 500,000, you get to 95%.
So is it from 75 to 95, or are there steps in between?
No steps.
Okay,
straight
75
away.
to 95.
Yeah.
And is there a 100% cap at
It is 100%, but we have 5% transaction fee, so that's why it's 95. I don't like to mislead people, because when they hear 100%, they expect 100%. But this is where you see that star conditions apply.
Right.
So there is a 5% transaction fee.
And that 5% is also in the 75.
So it is 80, but because of the 5% transaction fee, it becomes a 75.
And so you mentioned that it's not a desk fee, or
so there is no royalty fee. Yeah, so we do have fees. They are a one-time fee in the beginning and also monthly. So we have a joint fee, which is 1,500 dirham.
For now,
I think it is what it is. We set, actually before we open the country, or before eXp opens the country, they do a thorough market research, right? So each country you will see has its own business model depending on its dynamics and market conditions. So for Dubai, now 1,500 dirham as a joint fee, and then you have a monthly fee of 1,500 dirham as well.
Which is quite manageable.
It's manageable. It's very doable. I have agents who I've met, honestly, said, if you give me this and this, I'll pay 5,000 a month. I'm like, okay, for now we're not charging 5,000. 1,500 is what we're charging.
So 1,500 joining, 1,500 monthly thereafter, and you get your visa as well?
We provide visa for those who need visa. We do the work permit. We do the broker card the first year. We give the basic insurance. We are law-abiding citizens. You know me and the government. I am very much,
She's in there.
I don't like to do things differently. I don't want an unfair competition as well. I don't want people to come, they are succeeding because this and this. No, we're exactly doing the same thing. It's just that the company offers beyond what any broker can hope for. And
so in that 1,500, you get your visa, healthcare, basic healthcare
as per the
you pay for the RERA exam training, everything
the exam
else.
They pay. For every broker, they pay for their exam. We pay for the broker card the first year. Thereon, when they start earning, generating income, it becomes easier. They can pay the whole year, even upfront. After that, so you get CRM. We have a global CRM. In the CRM, you have some of the automated marketing that agents can use. It's got AI embedded in it, so it kind of detects a lot of things. It makes your pictures better. We've got a lot of. We are a very technology-driven company, so you will wherever you see technology, you will find it in our tools very much. So we have the CRM, we have a package with Property Finder, we have the support team, we have 25 contracts so far, agreements with the developers, we follow up on the invoicing. So what we want the agents to do is just to follow up on their business, you know, to just focus on their sales. So this also means that for us, any successful agent can go and start their own company, right? But that's a huge mistake to make, because you could be good at, and I've been there as well.
So you're speaking from experience.
Yeah, so you could be great at sales, but bad at management. And if you don't have enough capital and enough human, you know, resources to help you, and you can't do it on your own. You start running the administration part of the business, and then you shift your focus completely off the sales, and then you find yourself not able to sell because you are sorting admin and bureaucratic stuff and all. So for me, the best option for any successful agent is eXp Realty. And I'm not saying it because, and you heard, like you said, clearly, I haven't come out and screamed over the rooftop about eXp Realty until I have worked with them. I have set up the foundation for the business. We have very successful agents right now working with us.
I've seen some of the names that you've got.
So I have more lined up. So I'm doing it very organically. Corporate doesn't necessarily agree because, you know, it's about the number of agents you have and all, but I focus on quality, and I know that when I have a quality foundation, building on it is going to be such an easy task.
Because you are still a very hands-on leader with all your agents.
Absolutely.
Are you you still have your own clients? You still
so
close
for
your
me,
own deals?
I do. When I have my own, like you said, my own clients, I don't prospect, I don't actively seek sales or anything. It's just a client from 15 years ago come to me and say, hey, I want to sell my property. I can't just tell him go deal with somebody else. So I will take it on because it still brings me joy to find someone a home or a right investment. But I'm not focused on it. It's not my 24/7 job. And I leave that to the agents, to be honest. I only deal with my very close. And I get some random referrals. I'll always pass them on to my team.
And you also have, going back to the benefits of being an eXp broker, you have some, which I've kind of interpreted as kind of like a multi-level marketing, MLM type system where agents are encouraged to bring on.
It's not multi-level marketing because that is something where you lose money, right? In our program, you don't lose money. You only earn money when you are productive, and B, the person you bring into the business is productive. Now, going back to brokerage needs agents, right? When you first open a business, let's say a typical business in Dubai, you either hire an HR person or recruiter to start recruiting for you, or you tell the agents, hey, bring your buddy from the market and I will incentivize you 5,000 dirham or something from their first deal. Now, eXp does exactly that. We're like telling people who are working with us and they're happy with us to tell their friends.
Spread the word.
Exactly, spread the word. And we would reward them for that. And not one time. This is going to be for as long as they work with eXp and even beyond.
So is it a percentage? So let's say I join eXp.
Yes.
I love it. I start bringing on some of my agent friends. Do I get a cut out of all of their...
Every deal they do.
Every deal forever for life?
Yes.
As long as I'm working there and they're working there, I get a cut of how much?
It's at 7 levels, 7 tiers. And the first one, for example, the first line, we call it, you can earn up to 3.5%, which means up to 17,500. Because remember, we only pay the cap till we cap. Because beyond capping, company doesn't make money from the agent enough to pay revenue share. So because we pay from the company's share, we never touch the agent's share. So whatever 75% you're taking is yours. Whatever remaining with the company, they're going to pay revenue share from it.
So there could be a scenario where I'm capping, the agent I bring on is capping, and the eXp technically might lose out on commission because
not really, because once you only earn the revenue share until each agent caps. So you come on board, for example, you do your deals. I am earning from you. The minute you hit 500,000, I have already earned 17,500 from you.
Got it.
That's it. For the year, that's it. Next year again, you go back to 75, I'll start earning. And that goes, so imagine you bring one person or being 10 or 100, your potential of making revenue share And this we call passive income.
Right.
So you could be, because agents are as good as their last deal, right? God forbid something happens to you, you're not going to have money coming. Or if there is no retirement plan for agents, unfortunately, and this is not only in our country, in all the countries. So for us as eXp, we provide that security, financial safety for the future.
And it's
we always call it building wealth for the future,
yeah.
you know? So it doesn't matter how many people you bring, the people you bring other people. So it goes all the way to 7 tiers. So, yeah.
Do I get, so let's say I bring on this person A,
Yeah.
and they bring on person B. Do I get a cut of person B too?
Absolutely. You will get all the way to number 7 in your line. That's it. That's when the revenue becomes less, so eXp cannot, pay anymore.
So I get the 7
levels.
7 levels of hierarchy,
Yes,
should we
yes.
say?
So, and we have two revenue shares. We have the exponential, which is the right away 3.5%. But also eXp says, okay, wait, even if you haven't unlocked the levels, there is an expansion share, revenue share that we would still pay you, and that's like 0.1, 0.2. Some sort of revenue will always come back to you. And guess what? It's all calculated. You don't have to worry. And also you can do this in all 24 countries.
Right.
So wherever eXp is operating, you're able to be sitting here in Dubai. You come from London, you can be recommending
people
agents in London
got it.
to join eXp UK.
So geographically not limited, wherever
No
there's
limits.
EXP.
And imagine how beautiful is that. You're able to sell, to build a global sales organization. Could be India, South Africa, Australia, anywhere in the US, South America, everywhere.
I wonder, do you have any agents in the network that don't bill anything themselves, but
There
are just
are.
sitting there collecting from their...
There are very successful agents in the US. One of them is Brent Gove. If you can Google him, you'll see his YouTubes. He is a successful real estate agent, but he is now, senior in age. He completely just started focusing on attraction and bringing good agents and providing them, coaching and training, and he's making maybe in the vicinity, if I'm not mistaken, millions of dollars. Okay, that market is big. But you are able to do that because you have access to all those markets out of Dubai.
And I've always found it interesting, even like back in the UK, I always noticed a trend of recruiters going into real estate,
Yes.
or real estate people going into recruitment.
Yeah.
So this model is ideal for someone who is kind of somewhere in between there, would consider both.
True.
To kind of,
funnily enough, we had someone who was actually a recruiter who came to Dubai, relocated, started his company for recruitment. Of course, is successful and operate, but he decided to join eXp. Again, why eXp Realty is because it's work from anywhere, right? We are a cloud-based brokerage. We don't need you to be in the office 9 to 6.
cloud-based is code for we don't have an office.
We don't have an office.
Which also means we don't have an office.
Well, we have an office for licensing purpose. We have an office where agents can come and deposit checks and take paperwork, sign contracts, collect whatever they need. There is a space for them to have a meeting with their clients if they need to. But we don't have an office for them. I'm not going to call them every morning.
Where are you?
9 a.m. Where are you? Why you're not here? Or if you don't punch in at the door, you don't get access to the CRM. That we don't roll like that.
And
We're
I
not here to
guess-
babysit or micromanage. We're here to, because when you're an agent or a real estate, you're an entrepreneur. This is your business. We just support you and give you the foundation or the environment to run your business the right way you want.
You know what other problem?
So funny thing, I have agents come to me, it's like, Dounia, this agent wants to charge me this client wants to pay this. And I'm like, it's your business.
Yeah, you
Do
decide.
as you please. I can advise you. I can give you my guidance, but it's your business. You don't have to come back to me and take my approval for everything. So they love it. I mean, they're really enjoying working
I know
with
one
eXp.
other thing that they'll love, which is a big problem here: parking. No, you don't have to worry about parking.
Forget parking. This year, for the first time in 19 years, I had 0 fines. Why is that? Because I don't have to run like a crazy woman, between school and office and appointments. And no, 0 fines. And I was so proud. And I'm someone who used to get a lot of fines. So RTA is not so happy about eXp, I guess. But I am, because for the first time, and I took a screenshot before I renewed my car as a memory. So yes, so contributing, to less carbon footprint.
Sustainability.
Absolutely, but it's true. We don't have big offices. We're not running, electricity and.
Okay, so I've recently moved from that kind of big office, working with lots of different people, to being self-employed by myself, and I do miss that vibe that having a big office gives you, and you go in morning. I don't say good morning to anyone anymore unless it's text. So there's plus points and negatives, of course.
Absolutely,
plus that you don't have to be in the office, you don't have to clock in, you don't have to park.
Yeah.
But what about that community vibe that you're missing by not having an office?
Okay.
And part of that is I'm guessing you really need to only be taking on experienced agents, because a rookie is not going to...
We have a mix of both. Okay. But to go back to your question, I personally as well, my entire career has been in offices and expanding and getting office in Golden Diamond Park and one in Boulevard Plaza and one in here. And everything used to be about the office till COVID hit. COVID hit and just showed us that you're able to work from anywhere, At any time you could be sitting, and I used to travel, and of course I can't disconnect from my work. I would still get my work done. But that, I do miss it to a certain extent. I miss it. But as a mother, it helped me because I could be with my daughter more. Like I said, not having any fines or having a problem with the parking or anything. But yes, you do, I used to always tell my agents you would get more business done when you are in the office, just to encourage them to come. But I think you need to be, when you work in real estate, you have to be self-motivated. No matter how much I sit and preach try and inspire and all, the person has to understand how the real estate works, the potential of the income they can make, and the size of the business they can build. So we do have a mix. We have experienced people. I have someone who's doing super well. She's never done real estate in Dubai. She's been doing real estate in Atlanta and moved to Dubai, and she found a niche, and she's now doing deals every week. So it depends on the individual. You can be this person who was in recruitment agency, who was a recruiter, started doing, but he sits in his house in Tel Al Ghaf, works on both his businesses without having the hassle of having to, move. And so some people, yes, this model is not for them. They need to be in the office. They need to be told what to do, and they need to be, but we don't look for those kind of agents. We look for agents who have an entrepreneurial mindset. It doesn't matter if you have experience or not. You have to have that mindset from day one.
And because yesterday I was with an agency leader in their new office, and they had just spent 25 million decking out this office. Yeah. So there's got to be, yes, we experienced COVID, we experienced lockdown, we realized, we can work from home, but why are so many, and Callum as well, he was on a while ago, they've just expanded their offices. Why are so many agency leaders spending on their environment, on having a nice office, if there's no real value in it? What's your take on that?
I wouldn't say there is no real value. Every business runs differently. When eXp was born, it was born in 2009 in the recession. In February 2009, Glenn and his close team members came together and had to come up with a solution because yes, the recession hit, his expenses were this high, the sales are here, but then the expenses are still there, So he tried to come up with a way where he wouldn't have so many overheads and to be agile and flexible when market changes.
Yeah.
So what do you think would happen to someone who's got like a full floor business if, God forbid, our market takes a turn, or any other country? So for us, this is how the business model has proved itself. And plus I don't want to say something that's going to offend someone, but who's paying for that office? It's the agents with their commission income, right? Because it must be a 50-50 split. So we don't have an fancy office for you, but we give you the money back to you in your bank account. Yeah. That's how I would put it.
And you've run companies, real estate companies in Dubai for probably 15 of your 19 years or 17?
It's 18. Yeah, it was only 1 year, 1.5 years after I became property consultant that I took on management.
Okay, so you were at MD...
So I was Elysian for
MD,
10 years.
MD.
I founded that company, co-founded it with my friend. But I never took ownership. I was just the manager CEO for 10 years. Then I came out of that in 2016. I had my own company, MD Properties. 3 years later,
Not to be confused with Kika's MD Real Estate in Abu Dhabi.
It's such an amazing coincidence. I don't mind it if it's Kika. If it was someone else, maybe I'll have a problem. But MD Properties for 3 years. Then Berkshire Hathaway Home Services came to Dubai. They opened their franchise.
Which is Warren Buffett's baby.
Absolutely. And it's an amazing name. So when I decided to leave Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Gulf Properties, I left with the intention of starting my own again. But someone approached me and said, hey, why don't you meet eXp, talk to them? And they actually, by then, interviewed a lot of people to take this role, to head the country. But I met with them, and I was going to a wedding in Turkey, family wedding, and I had like 4 meetings. I'm having a meeting, I think, in the hotel corridor or in the airports or something, and I really liked what they had to, the story, everything. And that was in May, towards end of May 2022.
Okay.
I right away said, yes, okay. I halted my idea of starting my own. And I said, I'll do this. I want to do this, find out. I can start my own anytime, right? But I didn't need to because I had everything provided. I am still, managing the country.
And you're part of a huge network now.
Exactly, I'm operating on a global level. We have a platform that gives us access to 89,000 brokers who we can promote Dubai to and get referrals from. Yeah. We have the tools. Mind you, a lot of companies will tell you we're international, we have branches, we have this. No, we have tools to actually pick up the phone and just type the name and chat, start right away the chat. We have a metaverse office or a campus where I can actually go to and choose which country I want to talk to and visit. And if I visit that...
So is it like you go into the metaverse? So you showed me like this room, this conference room on your iPhone. Can I step into the metaverse in the US, for example?
Yes, you can visit their office in the US at night,
virtually.
Of course. Yes, virtually, your
and
avatar.
Avatars. And
absolutely, we have avatars and
so
stuff.
the avatar, you can dress it, you can choose your hair, your
You
look.
have to see, Halloween and Christmas, people are wearing the fancy hats and stuff. It's really funny. Like, it felt weird for me at first, but then it's become normal. Like,
and do they hear you? Can you talk to them?
Yes.
Or is it you're typing?
No, they hear you. You can also chat with the whole, like, for example, what we do in the metaverse, mostly for me, we do our weekly meetings. We do our global monthly meeting. We have our leaders from the US speaking to us, sharing, because again, we are a publicly listed company, so everything is transparent, everything is open, everything is, shared with us on a weekly and monthly basis. So we talk to each other, we comment on each other, we cheer each other, and then you can privately chat with someone, you can privately meet with someone. There
avatar
are rooms.
Or no avatar?
Avatar, of course. The convenience of it, and why is it someone will say, oh, but there is Zoom and Google Meet and Microsoft and all of that, is because you don't have to call me and say, hey, Dounia, do you have time? Send me the link. No.
You also don't have to do your hair and makeup
and you don't have to do hair and that's the biggest one for me, as to be honest, because with the Zoom and Google Meet, you have to always look good. So yeah, this, you just hop in, you log in. Everyone who works with eXp Realty will have a login and password. If not, we can create a guest pass for someone to just explore the space. We also have now actually an open space where people can just click on the URL and be part of our metaverse, because we would like to share the experience. And that's it. You just hop in. You find, right now, if you go in, we'll find Trix, one of the admin, and she'll say, hi, you can ask her a question. Yesterday, she told me a few agents came and visit. A few weeks back, we had someone from Italy ask, can you please refer me to an agent? So the potentials are really amazing.
And so from your leadership background in Dubai, what are the problems that you encountered that you now see eXp is solving for?
For agents, I see the industry challenges are various, like the micromanagement. Again, you're working on commission, right? Like, log in your holiday, you cannot go, you're sick, provide this. No, the major problem is commission payouts. A lot of agents they're not paid on time, you know? And it's a reality, unfortunately. Some companies are good. We pay weekly. Right. So every Monday, if everything is compliant and done and cleared in our account by Thursday, I approve it. Friday gets approved by the US. Monday it gets paid to the agent's account.
So literally, you could close a deal and receive the commission within 4 days.
if you have done your AML, if you have done your paperwork, if we run as a proper Dubai brokerage, of course, we have to follow all the rules. Once the money is cleared,
you don't have to wait till the end of the month.
Every 3 p.m. Thursday, I have a meeting with our accountant. She's sitting in India. So we have a meeting. We tell her exactly what transactions. We have the system. She gets the notification. She then approves it through the US on a Friday. Monday, she pays it out of the Dubai account. So it's very smooth. So this is a big challenge for agents, I see. The other challenges I see, of course, we all overcame those in 2008 and 9 with new government regulations, things that now, new to us as 3 listings per agents or... so pretty much, I think our challenges are very minor because we are highly regulated market. So I wouldn't have like a big issue that needs to be entirely addressed or nothing really major. The only problem I have, and we've spoken about in the past, is the collaboration. I don't see agents in Dubai necessarily being collaborative, and I don't like that. I don't appreciate it. I do feel that for the sake of our industry's success and being strong, we have to work together. It doesn't matter. We're not competitors. You know, okay, we might be competitors in a way, but we all work for the same industry. And if we do all well, our industry does well, right?
Are you finding that US agents are collaborating, working with each other more than Dubai?
It's amazing. Absolutely, yes. So I see this in our own environment. Like when I was hired or when I joined in June, eXp, I made it sure that I go to the US for the eXp Con, we call it the sales convention, in October. I wanted to meet the people I'm working with. I want to see who I am, becoming part of. And I was pleasantly surprised, There were more than 6,000 agents in that convention. Everyone had a great story to tell. There were people who joined 2 months ago, and there were people who were part of the founders from, 15 years ago. So I really loved it. Everyone was collaborating. Everyone was working together. But guess what? Because we're all shareholders of that company. So you literally become an owner part owner of that company. So you care about it. You want to, do business together. We have people like, for example, if I pick up the phone today and ask one of the leaders in the US, and not leadership as in corporate, agents, some of the most successful agents in the US, to jump into a meeting of mine on Monday and meet my agents and give them like a training, they would say no. If I ask Andrew from South Africa, he will not say no. If I ask Dennis, hey Dennis, I need some thing about the metaverse that I don't understand, he won't say no. So the collaboration between us internally is amazing, and this is what I find a little bit a challenge in Dubai.
Actually, just to backtrack on that, you mentioned your shareholders. Is it just the leaders, or is everybody a shareholder in? So
everyone who joins eXp, whether it's staff, meaning the back office, the marketing, everything, or agents, everyone becomes a shareholder. 2 ways. For the staff, after working with us certain period, you earn shares.
So it's a bit like working for a startup. You get either employee stock options.
Exactly. No, we give you the stock regardless. It's awarded to you. For agents, when they close their first deal, they get 550 dirham for Dubai worth of stock. And then when they hit the 500,000 GCI, we also give them 1,100 dirham in stock. And when everyone in their first line closes their first deal, they get stock.
Right.
So basically, and you have these awarded to you. You get an email, you have to accept them. They are in your account, under your name. You can't sell them or trade them or cash them out for 3 years. After 3 years, you're free to do whatever you want. And there was some beautiful story in the US. Some guy agent, he said that when he had to cash his stocks, he bought his mom a house, you know. So it's really, it's sitting there, is just building up. That's
Provided
again,
the stock performs, you get to benefit
yes,
from.
of course. And when eXp started, of course, the stock was very low. And now as eXp is growing and we are cash positive and, you know, we have no debt, the stock, of course, is growing as well. But of course, because of the US last few months, it had gone down. So the stock will be affected a little bit. But again, it's something you just, it's sitting there. It's an extra thing. If instead of me saying, here is a dinner for two, go have food in DIFC, I'm saying here's stocks that's gonna.
So in a way, you're earning and you're investing at the same time.
So we have multiple incomes for agents, and automatically then you become a shareholder in the company.
Right, now back to collaborating.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm kind of on the fence on this one, because if I was an agent, again, after 20 years, and I worked hard with the relationships I've got, and I'm building all these relationships, and have a network, and I get a listing, which I know I can close and earn the full commission from. If I get a phone call from an agent who's trying to hang off my coattails or ride off my success, I will probably say no.
You're one of them, then, you know? I don't like you.
I would probably be
Silvia.
like, you know, nice try, but I got this. I can do this. Because otherwise, you're already splitting your commission with the agency, with the company. Then to you're split with another agent when you know you can do this by yourself. Why?
Why? Let me tell you why. One, you're working for the seller or the landlord, right? When you get a listing, what do you tell your client? I'm going to sell it for you fast. I'm going to sell it at the highest value. I'm going to do all the work for you. I'm going to take the headache off you. When an agent calls you and says, I need your listing, or I have a buyer for your listing, and you right away say no, it's just not right. Then you're working for yourself. You're looking after your own interest, not your clients. And we are in the business of serving people. So if I get a call tomorrow for my property and an agent tells me, do you work with agents? I really don't have the heart to tell him no. So I say, yes, of course. Given that that agent has qualified his client properly, that that agent is a RERA registered, that that agent works with a respectful company and with a good reputation, yes, no problem. Because then I can sell that faster. I go back to the seller and say, hey, I sold your house very fast. He'll be happy. He'll give me a good review. He'll give me more business. He'll refer me to other clients. I always look at the long term. I don't look at the quick buck making strategy. That is not in my books from the day I started my career. So yes, I don't agree. I believe we work for the clients. In the US, there's MLS, right? Each agent has a property. You call that agent for his property. He's not going to tell you no. He'll say, hey, there is a key box. Go get the key and go see the house.
But it's different in the US because the sellers are used to paying the 2% and the buyers are used to paying the 2% there. It's clear cut. You work as a buyer's agent or as a seller's agent.
But we have 2% from both sides in Dubai as well.
Not all the time.
Most of the cases. I don't work for less than that, to be honest. If you want to benefit from my services and from my experience of 19 years, and, you know, I mean, if you go to the REST app, you find the ranking of agents, I'm up there. So yes, I'm not going to, all that hard work, let it go. I will always charge.
In that scenario.
So when I charge or I don't charge, I will still collaborate.
So let's say the in this scenario, your seller's not paying 2%. You might have some. Okay?
Some are, yeah.
And then it's
I
only
have family property today. I'm not going to charge them 2%, right?
Now, in that scenario where it's only the buyer's commission you can split, you would still close with them.
The funny thing is when the other agents call you for your listing and they find out you don't have seller's agent, they're like, oh, I'm like, excuse me, I am here willing to split with you.
Yeah.
So it's a funny way, but I do believe collaboration is better. We come together, we close together, you support each other as well because there is an experienced agent. Otherwise, here we're encouraging, we go back to another subject maybe we don't want to touch on and take so much time, is cold calling. Why do agents end up cold calling?
Try and get stock.
Because they're trying to get stock. So if they call me and I say, sorry, I don't deal with you, he's going to go to illegally obtain data and start calling those people because he's trying to desperately source a listing for his client.
Me as the agent,
that buyer is never going to go to property. Like I had this case. I had a buyer. She was my close friend. And she only wants me to help her. And I put all my efforts and time and everything into finding her a property. I call an agent who joined the real estate 2 months ago, and she tells me, oh, if you have a buyer, send me a copy of the check. That's one, which is wrong. Second, many times I call, they say, oh, sorry, but we don't share. I'm like, yeah, but my buyer is never going to call you.
Yeah.
She's with me. No. Another incident happened to me is I found the property. So we went to see a property. It was a rental property, penthouse in the address. The person from the hotel gave us access to the wrong unit.
Right.
And my client fell in love with that unit. But that unit is not available. So the guy called his wife came to see as well. And all of a sudden, I'm told that, oh, sorry, but this unit is not available. This is available, and this is smaller and not the right one. So I told that client of mine, I said, listen, rest assured, I'll find you exactly the same unit. I go to Property Finder. I look at the listings. I found exactly the same unit. I called that agent. That agent tells me, sorry, I don't deal with agents. I said, okay. I went back to my client and I said, here is the number of the agent. This is exactly the same unit you want. Please call him and go ahead and close
And they
the deal.
closed?
No, my client said, we don't want that unit anymore. You find us anything else. And then I ended up finding another unit, much better price, much better location, much better view. And I closed that deal. And they got me a present and everything. So it depends how you deal with it.
Yeah.
So it's just
But there
not
is
nice, not ethical.
I know,
I don't find it professional, to
but
be honest.
I think you'll find most of the agents who don't work with other agents is because they've been burnt in the past. And let's say, for example, I say, okay, yeah, I want to work with you. Which unit number is it? And then you're like,
yeah,
oh,
no, but you shouldn't be that naive, okay? You never share unit numbers. We don't even share unit numbers in my previous companies, to be honest, internally.
Yeah,
we
but when
don't
they
even
come to
put
do
them
the
in the
viewing,
CRM.
when they come to do the viewing, they're going to see the
So this is
unit.
why I've requested RERA, to be honest, to have the Form I or the agent to agent to be embedded in our broker app. Because then if it's there, it's registered, it's in the, the history that agent worked with that agent on that property. So because of so many unethical brokers, which I hope one day they'll fall by the sides, because we want only the good ones to remain in this market, these things are happening.
Yeah.
But if you have your paperwork right, if you have a viewing form, other than your Form B and A and Form I have a viewing form that I sometimes make clients sign or agent. And I don't deal with a lot of people who I don't know. And I also, like with my clients, I have a very special relationship that anything happens, I am aware of.
Yeah.
Like the other day, again, client of mine takes a screenshot, an agent from certain company, very big one, sends him a message, say, hey, I have a buyer for your villa. He said, okay, how do you know how much I want to buy, sell it for? He said, yeah, it's listed. I saw it listed for 8 million. And he said, okay, call Dounia Fadi. She's the person I deal with. He refused to call me. So I called the guy. And the guy said, no, I don't collaborate with agents. I don't share my client. I said, it's not your client, it's mine. He said, no, I'm talking about the buyer. I said, yeah, buyer is yours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not touching your buyer. But my seller told you to call me. And you, instead of calling me from the ad, you went directly to the seller.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, no, okay, no, never mind. And guess what? They never got the property because my client is very loyal. But there are clients who are not.
Do you think the MLS system, if we bring that here, it would solve everything?
It's such an amazing thing for our market. I think
And you're
we are in
championing
that
this.
stage. I am championing it. I think we are getting there. Our market is maturing. We have, yes, everyone says, oh, there are so many brokers in Dubai. But Dubai, the pie is growing as well, It's not the same pie we are sharing. The Dubai is growing. There are more projects. There is more for everyone. It's just that we have to be collaborative. We have to be ethical. We have to be professional if we want this to continue to thrive.
And you are constantly driving. You are kind of like a spokesperson for the industry to some degree, and always taking things and suggestions and asking DLD for confirmation. So how's that relationship developed over the years? Because you have become I'm going to go and speak to.
Yeah, it's like when something happens, and I care about this market. I do it because I care. And I do have access to leadership, in DLD. So why not? Why not use that for the betterment of our industry? They also have become very open to listening to the public, to
and
finding out what's going on.
Yeah.
We actually have meetings. I sometimes get calls. I was like, okay, next Friday or next Tuesday or whatever, 10 a.m. be at DLD. We have a meeting. I don't know what that meeting is about, but I'm going to be there. Yeah, but I'm going to kind of be there.
I should have mentioned this in your intro because there is another, this should be on your LinkedIn.
What?
Dounia is the group admin for so many real estate WhatsApp groups. It is unreal.
Not so many.
So
Come on.
many.
I have one which is, it was formed during COVID because we wanted to talk to DLD about Andrera. And we had a meeting with His Excellency Marwan bin Khalid as well to listen to our, concerns. And when portals didn't want to settle, they were still charging us when there was no movement in the market. So yes, I have that group that remained. I couldn't dissolve it. Then I have a women's group. Then I have there is the Cityscape Wire. And I'm by default I get added to this group. I don't
No, she doesn't just get added. She gets added as group admin. She can kick you out. She can add you in.
I police things out. Don't worry.
Okay, brilliant. I think we've covered everything I want to know about eXp. Is there anything that we've missed out or anything else you want to mention about
I don't think so.
the model?
Yeah, I think the model is very straightforward. It's a work from anywhere, be your own boss, earn highest commission, become a shareholder in a publicly listed company in NASDAQ, have access to tools that will connect you to 24 countries, 89,000 agents, and build passive income and future wealth for you and your family.
And no parking fines, no clocking in and out, no...
no 5 minutes late, you're 500
dirham
fine. I am in Marina Plaza, right? So I go up and down the elevator hearing all the stories about the other agents. So none of that. We don't have any of that drama. We have really very nice environments. We do meet face to face, of course. We have weekly meetings online, but we do have once a month we all get together. We have croissants and fruits and discuss and train and just be together, you know. So.
And you are, like, speaking of you being a spokesperson, you are an international speaker as well as being a mum, being a wife, being a real estate leader, and everything else that you do.
Yeah.
Now, it takes a lot to become a public speaker. And I want to know if you have any golden nuggets for anyone listening that might be really nervous or shy about doing public speaking.
Yeah.
Because in this industry, you have to have some level of confidence when it comes to speaking to clients. You can't be shy. But you've taken it up a few more notches, speaking on stages, on panels. How did you get the confidence?
Oh, there was no confidence in the beginning, to be honest. I do remember the very first time I was invited to speak. It was 2015. It was at Cityscape Global Conference when we used to have the conference prior to the exhibition, a day or two before in the Conrad. And I was invited to speak, and I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting and I'm shaking. My heart,
Goes into
I
your
hear
throat.
it, I swear, in my ears. And my husband...
And you think you're going to be sick.
Yeah, and I messaged my husband. I'm like, I can't do this. There is no way I can do this. And mind you, I do meetings with like 65 agents, right? That time in Elysian, I had 65 agents. But it's totally different when you're doing it with strangers. Yeah. So I started... I asked my husband because he's a public figure. And he said, you can do it. Don't worry. Just breathe. But then I went online and I looked how to calm yourself and stuff. So you have to practice breathing, all right? And it only gets better with time. Yeah, it's not going to happen instantly, but at least you get some relief. Practice breathing, and then when there must be in the audience someone you know, lock eyes with that person you know. Like if you are in an audience of 1,000 people, I don't know 999 of them, but
just
you're there.
I'm
just going to look at you. That will make me feel more relaxed. That will, breathing because you have to control your heart rate. And that's it. That's like, all you have to do.
I think that feeling of anxiety, because it is anxiety, that feeling is normal. It is. Everybody gets it, no matter how.
Till date, I still get it. Yeah. Every time we have to go speak, I have to be speaking somewhere, I still get it, but it's much less, of course.
Much less, but also it's a reminder that you are human, and you're about to step out of your comfort zone. So I quite enjoy it these days. Yeah. And I've noticed as well, like you say, lock in on one person. Maybe it's just me. I find that I can't see anyone. Once I'm up there and the lights are on, I cannot see anyone.
But in the beginning, you better to do this if you can, because then it'll give you it'll calm you down that, okay, there's someone I know. you know, even if you just were networking and you met someone, you started talking to him, you went on stage, try to find that person, and just it brings your mind at ease, and it controls your heart rate and stuff. And there are a lot of public speaking courses. I was always planning to take some, but I haven't come around that. And I would love to take some because I really want to grow my speaking career, but it's just, there's no time.
Yeah.
So I'll try, but I don't know when that happens.
I really enjoy it, and I think I'd love to do more of it. The only thing that I can't do yet, like I wouldn't be able to give a TEDx yet.
Yeah, not yet.
One day, soon.
I'm not sure if I can do that.
You know what? Because I don't memorize.
But I was never sure I could do the panel.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
and
but
I did
panel
it.
is like a conversation.
And I got stand innovation. It was well received. I spoke from my heart. And I'm known for always, you know, speaking my mind with respecting everyone. But I would still, you know, if there is an opinion, I would give it. It's just you have to be yourself. And you would never, and I've said this before, we always are self-judging ourselves, right? No, I can't do it. No, it's your mind that's telling you can do it. You don't know if you can do it or not until you start doing it, and then it's done. And you look back and like, oh, I did it. So yeah, just get with it and get it done.
Okay, well that leads me on perfectly to...
What are you after, Sylvia? I know what you're after.
We're going to talk about the women. Just do it. It's in your mind.
Okay.
La, la, la. Is it a case of... Okay, so we had Alessia on last week in episode number 28. And we brought up the subject of... it was actually International Women's Day when we were recording.
Yeah.
And we were both like, seriously? Like really cupcakes and what? Okay. First of all, I know that the answer to this, you're not going to agree with me that International Women's Day should be scrapped.
No.
Okay. Now, let's assume it's not scrapped. We're going to continue with it. What would your advice be to corporates or leaders in the industry or people in the industry on how we celebrate this day? And do we also have an International Man's Day? Let's discuss.
Okay. Wow.
We have a lot to say.
We can do 2 parts. No? Okay then.
Okay.
So, no scraping of women. Women have come a long way for them to not have that day of the year that they get to be celebrated.
You have Mother's Day and you have Father's Day.
But Mother's Day is for other reasons, you know. Women's Day is for women to celebrate their achievement, to celebrate who they are, whether they are CEOs or they are mothers at home. It's the same. Women do great things, right? And we have been overlooked for generations. We are merging out now, you know. We're like,
no, I think that we're out. I think that's the thing. Like we're already
we're
out.
Not yet. We are, because we are in Dubai. We are in a city that celebrates women, that has a government of 50% women, 50%, you know, men. But there are other countries who are not.
Okay, the countries,
so they have
the
to
US,
see our
the
success.
UK. There's a lot of successful women trailblazers.
I was in the US. I was sitting in San Diego. In Seattle, in a park, and a woman sits next to me, and she asked me where I was from, and I said Dubai, and she said, "Oh, why are you dressed like this?" I was dressed in a dress, normal dress, summer, you know. I looked at her, and I had to pull that time the Property Finder Prestige magazine cover with all these fabulous women on it. I said, this is who we are in Dubai. We're not the whatever you guys think we are. We are very successful.
That's more of a misconception about the region.
There are so many misconceptions. So hence, we need to celebrate our achievements.
No, but that's misconceptions about the religion and region in
not
the
only
Middle
the religion.
East.
I don't think it has anything to do. It has to a certain degree to do with the religion and the culture and everything.
Or they think women are kind of pushed down or something. Okay.
But no, I think women have. Listen, women couldn't vote. Women couldn't.
Yeah, but we can vote now.
Yes, we can.
But we can drive now.
Yes, but
we
still
we are a minority.
Still, we are a minority.
But is that the men's fault?
Is it to a certain extent? Could be. I'm not going to point fingers at men, but there are some men who would say, yeah, no, you're not allowed to work. So it's up to the woman to decide if she wants to be that or that. So we're not saying women are less if they're not working, but we want women to know that they have an opportunity waiting for them. A lot of women don't finish their, you know, in the STEM, in the science and medicine and technical stuff. They don't finish their education because it requires many years of education. And when they get hired, or they just don't finish it because they're going to say, oh, I'm going to have a kid and it's going to be interrupted. But if we celebrate a doctor or a now we have the first female astronaut, you know, who just graduated, who's female Muslim from the UAE. We celebrate her. Then other girls, we say, oh, I can still become an astronaut because she did.
But that's the thing. It's like, I feel like it's a generational thing, not necessarily a gender thing, because I never grew up wanting to be an astronaut.
But do you think a boy thinks, I'm going to grow up to be home and look after kids?
No. So they grow up wanting to be astronauts. They grow up wanting to be pilots. It's not a case of, as we've grown up, that men are stopping us from becoming astronauts. It was just never on our agenda. We were playing with Barbies and whatever.
No, but there were, if we go ancient, and I don't know so much about history, to be honest. I'm not going to quote something that's not accurate. But yeah, we were suppressed. Women were suppressed.
Yes, but we're not
They're
anymore.
still suppressed till today.
In some countries.
In some countries. So we have to share our experience.
But the women in Congo or wherever are not seeing the cupcakes. That it's the borderline feminism. And I've got to say, I still want to be, yes, I'm a boss. Been a female leader. I've been, some men actually say I prefer working for a woman than nobody ever stopped me achieving what I wanted to do.
Because you grew up in a very, open family, open-minded. There are some families who are not the same, or some societies who are not the same. But we need to show, and if a girl, her parents or her family or whatever her beliefs tell her, no, you can't do it. You should not do it. You're going to eventually get married and have to have kids and blah, blah, blah. But if she sees, oh, I can still do it. She would defy that, and she would prove herself. And we have so many women in history that have done that and proved everyone wrong and have succeeded. So that we still have to, I still feel we're a minority. We are 30%. When everyone comes out female, maybe they look like there is equal female-male representation in our market, but it's not.
Head of marketing, 9 times out of 10, is a woman. Head of HR, 9 times out of 10, is a woman. Head of leasing, 9 times out of 10, is a woman. Head of property management, 9 times out of 10, is a woman. It's just the owners that are majority, but that's women's choice.
Why they choose that? Because maybe they don't have enough confidence.
No. I am one of those. I could have opened my own agency a long time ago, as you've done, and you've decided maybe you will, and you went into eXp. But I chose not to, not because I don't think it's possible. I see it's possible. It's my personal choice. I don't want that kind of headache.
You think it is because of the environment you grew up, you got the experience. You would have done this very early on in your career? No. So anyone who gets the experience becomes confident, you realize, but you need to step into the workspace, right? You need to step into the work environment to realize what your potential is. If women would say, no, I can't do it, I won't start even, then they will not get to that finish. And they don't have to be directors or whatever. They just have to know that there is an opportunity for them if they wish to. No one is pushing anyone.
But I think they know now, and Gen Z especially, they don't even want to do like you and I.
Sure, we did ask some teenagers, I'm going to marry a rich husband.
But they, like me and you, we worked in one place for 10 years. We devoted a whole decade to one company.
Yeah.
Gen Z are not doing that. They're entrepreneurs. They're going into their affiliate marketing. They're this, they're that. They're influencers. They're business, they're little mini entrepreneurs. Then they don't have the same mindset. And I love that for them. I wish we had that spirit, but no, we were told, go get a good job, stay in it, stay for a long time. And our parents' generation, they probably worked in the same company 40 years or their entire career.
Yeah,
so,
look how it's actually going down, right?
But I still want the door opened for me as a lady. Right. Yeah. I still want my chair pulled out. There's a lot of we can go a bit too far with this feminist kind of...
So that's what I'm saying. Why you want to take away Women's Day?
I want to take it away because
you want the door open to you. I want Women's Day for women to celebrate their achievement.
We're doing it wrong because what we're doing is like, oh, look at this woman who's a mom and she did this.
Yes,
it's possible. Yes,
okay,
we know
thank you for mentioning
now.
that. But listen, men, when they wake up in the morning, what do they have in their mind? Only work. There's nothing else.
No, they're thinking about providing for the entire family. That's in their nature, is I should be providing for my family. And in their nature, probably there's something going against it that's like, my wife shouldn't be working.
Yeah, I want to provide women have to juggle so many things, right?
But by choice. By
choice, yes. They choose to do that. Some don't have the choice.
And it's not necessarily...
Some cannot keep up with the expenses. Women and, the husband and wife have to come together, help each other. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have come a long way. I agree with you. There are so many boundaries that we have crossed. And we spoke about the glass ceiling that day. And I said, no more glass. No one is putting glass ceiling on you other than you, you know? So you have to. But when we celebrate these women, when we shed light on the women who have excelled, we tell the younger generation, look what the potential is. Look what you can achieve. Men, they know that's what they have to do. Women are still believing that they can do it. So we're out there to inspire others. That's my opinion, and I feel we're still a minority. We still have to push for more, and whatever we can do to achieve that, we'll do.
Okay. Panels, all female panels, scrap those?
Yes, please. That's definitely, I agree with you, because you know, you need a mix of audience, of opinions, right?
It's not men and women. Not a wedding.
Yeah, it's not exactly. I didn't like that. And I don't like all men as well. I like to see a woman. I did moderate a whole conference a few months ago, and I'm waiting for the women speakers, and where are they? None. There were 2 on the agenda, but they never showed up. And that was an issue. Then we ended up with no women at all, except me moderating. So yes, we need to I agree with you. I don't want to see any full female panels. But yes, the other one we had, it was about women empowerment. We still could have a male opinion, to give their opinion.
And lastly, women awards. Now, this was quite controversial because, and what I agree with Alessia, she made a very good point, is that this award, the Influential Woman Award, was given at the beginning of the night. And the last award is reserved for the biggest and baddest award, like the biggest
But that was mixed? Or it was also just mixed?
That was mixed.
I mean,
it was mixed.
Okay.
But the first award, it's kind of like, like here you go, here's a little something.
Come on. No, I wouldn't take it as an offense. I think because we are a minority, and again, the numbers speak. Because men are here, the number of men, who
but
are...
in terms of agents...
And women are less. So if we were to do it mixed, men and women together, and get an award, it'll always be given to a male, because there is a big number of men.
If we opened up every brokerage's books, probably across the world, the top agent will probably be a woman in every
my
single
company
brokerage.
right now. It's a woman,
right? And most of the companies I know, it's also a woman, and they've
we love expensive stuff.
But they've also, Alessia made the point is we choose not to go into leadership because it makes more sense. We can make more money as an agent. So I don't think that we have that problem in real estate.
This subject in particular, I think we can take the entire podcast and many.
We need another
episodes
one.
After
we need an all-female panel.
No, definitely. No, maybe we should bring a man and ask his opinion.
Let's bring Andrew Tate. I think we should bring Andrew Tate.
Sylvia.
I agree with.
No, but we should bring a man and ask him this question. Because I have my opinion. Alicia has her opinion. You have your opinion. I still feel women are minority. I still feel we have to celebrate them. I still feel we have to show the path to the next generation.
No, the path. The next generation are showing us the path. I'm sorry, they're showing us the path.
I'm a little worried about the next generation, to be honest.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up now with. So we asked Instagram what questions they have for Dounia.
Okay.
And I have 3. Someone you don't know said, "What's your why?" and don't say kids or family.
My why?
Yeah.
Wow. My why is to, of course, it'll always be my kids, right?
That's why she said don't say kids or family.
But coming from my career and what I built and everything, I really would like to, it might even sound cheesy, but I want to contribute. I want to give back. I want to give back in any way I can, whether helping my team, other agents, making them successful, explaining, helping clients, going to DLD and saying this has,
make a difference.
This has to be done and this should not be. I am always outspoken. I like to give my opinion where I see fit, and I like to help. I'm a Virgo, I'm always there to care and help for everyone.
Okay. And Kika had a question. please speak about your opinion regarding women's awards, which we kind of did.
Yeah.
Anything else to add
I think
on that?
no, enough.
Fine.
I think enough of that.
And the last question is doing real estate in the metaverse really necessary?
Doing real estate as in working or selling the metaverse?
I mean, you're not selling in the metaverse, but I
No.
guess like
So for us, I
operating in the
explained,
metaverse.
yes, it is helping because like I said, I can just walk in, log in, walk into any of our global offices. I can go into support, help desk. I can go into welcome area, learn more about whatever I want to learn about without having to call and say, hey, are you available? Let's fix a meeting. So yes, it's not necessary, but it's a way of doing business the way we do.
And one question I always ask is one split into four. I always ask every guest is because my tagline is helping you get started, get noticed, get results, get referred. Can you give us your words of wisdom on, if I'm an agent listening to this or I'm thinking about getting into real estate, how to get started from Dounia?
How to get
Best
started.
way to get started.
First of all, you need to understand if this is what you want to do. Real estate. When I bumped into real estate, I had no clue what it was. So maybe it worked for me because the market was not as competitive, not, as there was not so much to learn in terms of projects and stuff. But I think you do your homework and decide that this is really what I want to do. Sit with someone who's going to give you genuine advice, not those who's going to tell you next month you're going to make 100,000.
Yeah.
That's not the case. You need at least 6 months of savings to be able to ride, first few months, learn, absorb. You're going to fail and you're going to feel miserable and it's not going to be nice and you might want to give up. But if you understand everything from the beginning, then it'll be easy on you. And I always advise my team, I say, look, when you set a goal, break it down. Small wins will fuel you. If you constantly trip, it's going to disappoint you and frustrate you and then you eventually might give up. But yes, so put a plan, study the markets, see that this is what you want to do, talk to someone genuine to give you genuine advice.
Brilliant. How to get noticed in real estate?
How to get noticed? It's so easy now. It's social media, right? Personal brand is a big thing. No matter who you work with, even if you work with, big companies, people deal with people. They want to know who you are, but don't overdo it as well. All right? So, just be you, be genuine, that's my opinion. Maybe someone else will disagree, but personal, and also when you service the clients, it's the experience they have, right? Is that either happy or not happy? You have to make sure that everything goes smooth.
And how to get results? To
get results, you have to be diligent, you have to be disciplined, and you have to control your mindset because your thoughts are dangerous.
Yeah.
Whatever you think of yourself, you become. Whatever you tell yourself is what it is. And also there is something I want to bring up is, when we say practice makes perfect, we always say this to the kids. I tell it to my kids all the time. We have to be very careful of what we are practicing. Because whatever you're practicing, you're becoming, right? So if you're practicing something good, yes, amazing, it's going to become perfect. But if you're practicing
being a bad agent.
Yeah, being a bad agent, being late, being unethical. That's what you're gonna find in 10 years, 15 years down your career as well.
And lastly, how to get referred?
How to get referred is by giving the best service to your clients. If your client is happy, he's gonna be very happy to refer you to friends and family and also your colleagues. Be nice to your colleagues.
Well, thank you, Dounia. That was this may be our longest episode. But I feel like I learned so much more about the eXp model. I always knew it was kind of different, but now thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you.
And thank you for having continuing the discussion on women in real estate. There is more to be done, more to be said. I'm going to have you back at some point so we can do a part 2.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, Silvia, for having me, honestly.
You. And like, share, and just subscribe. Thank you. Brilliant.
Thank you.